In terms of a Robert Sutherland relationship, I can't imagine what it's like. You meet someone, you start seeing them, you're working together, you have this very complex, charged professional relationship. It turns into a personal one, and then all of a sudden, one of you becomes the biggest movie star in the world very, very fast.
In 1989, Keifer Sutherland sparked an intense relationship with his co-star Julia Roberts on the set of the hit movie Flatliners. They became the hottest couple in Hollywood.
Even before Hollywood it couples like Bennifer and Brangelina, Keifer and Julia Roberts were really the hottest thing in Hollywood. These were two young up-and-coming stars. They were both gorgeous, had big careers ahead of them. So when they got together, they were so much bigger than either of them on their own.
The young couple was inseparable, and it wasn't long before Keifer moved in with the pretty woman. In early 1991, Keifer proposed. The newspapers and tabloids couldn't get enough. The pressure on the young couple was rising.
Keifer and Julia Roberts were to be married on the 14th of June 1991 at Sound Stage 14 in Fox Films in Los Angeles, the wedding coming in at something around $500,000. By this time, the media juggernaut was just mowing down everyone in its wake.
Everyone was really paying a lot of attention to Keifer and Julia, and it put a lot of strain on their relationship. They were trying to plan a wedding, they were trying to just have a great relationship, and yet everybody was watching their every move. It just put a lot of strain on what they were going through.
Then, just 3 days before the wedding, Keifer got a phone call. Julia was calling it off.
And then after, when we broke up, I think everyone, just myself included, went running for cover because we had courted all of that publicity. We certainly didn't turn it away. And, you know, if you're going to covet that for the nice things, you better expect it for some of the negative things.
Keifer spent the scheduled day of the wedding avoiding the press and clearing out his personal belongings from Julia's mansion. Meanwhile, Julia was busy promoting her upcoming film. Then, shockingly, she flew to Europe with Keifer's close friend, Jason Patrick. The tabloids reported every detail.
Nobody had any idea these two were together, and suddenly she's calling off her marriage, she's running off to Ireland with Jason. You know, it was shocking to everyone.
In terms of Julia Roberts, he acknowledges that she probably came to the realization before he did that they were just kids.
Breakups are bad. Breakups in front of 5 million people on the cover of People magazine, that's got to be a little tougher.
It's not something that I enjoy having to deal with. I don't like my day to be about, you know, opening up the paper, concerned with what I might read about myself, true or not.
Suddenly, overnight, because of what happened, he became the man that Julia Roberts didn't marry.
After the breakup, Keifer's stature as a movie star seemed diminished by his tabloid exposure. Frustrated with the relentless public scrutiny and fed up with Hollywood, 25-year-old Keifer turned his back on the industry.
After all this attention about his relationship with Julia and their breakup, Keifer really shied away from anything else after that.
Keifer longed for the rugged camaraderie that he experienced on the set of Young Guns. The idealistic rebel looked for a different calling and found it in the world of rodeo.
Well, I was doing a film called The Cowboy Way, and they had two guys, John English and Steve Gilson, both rodeo cowboys out of New Mexico, and I had goofed around with a rope a little bit before, but they came in and did a lot of the rodeo stuff for this film. And it looked so beautiful, and it was so graceful, and they were so good, that I had said to John English, I said, look, when this film is done, maybe I can come out to New Mexico and train with you for a few weeks and see if I could actually learn how to do this.
At the age of 27, Keifer walked away from Hollywood to become a cowboy. He hit the road with John English, first as his ranch hand and then as his partner, competing in rodeo competitions across America.
When you take an artist and that is allowing themselves to live a full and complete life, that's when you start to say they're living by their own rules. And he went up to Montana, he had the horses, he was on the rodeo circuit.
Life on the road proved to be just what Keifer needed.
That was my great college experience because I didn't get to go. And here you are with a bunch of guys in a pickup truck hauling 6 horses from town to town. Whatever youth I felt I had missed, I was reliving it during that time.
A modern-day cowboy, Keifer embraced the rugged lifestyle. He was a natural and surprised everyone by winning a series of rodeo competitions.
But I was always aware, quite early on, that no, I wasn't going to become a cowboy for a living, and I wasn't going to become a rancher for a living. It was something that I had a great deal of interest in, but ultimately it was to feed and find my way back to working as an actor.
Keifer chose Hollywood and in the late 90s appeared in successful films like A Time to Kill, A Few Good Men, and Twin Peaks: Fire Walk With Me, as well as a string of forgettable films.
And I had done a couple of films that I probably, I should not have done. And I was embarrassed by myself and by those projects, and it was time, almost out of respect just for film, period, stop it. And then I was just very lucky that a couple people had faith in me and gave me another shot.
After his breakup with superstar Julia Roberts in 1991, Keifer Sutherland had to choose between a successful career as a cowboy and his passion for acting. Keifer's decision to return to Hollywood would set off a string of events that would change his life and television forever. It was the summer of 2000. Robert Cochran and Joel Surnow were looking for the right star to play a counter-terrorist agent in their new television pilot. Keifer fit the bill.
We were having a difficult time trying to find someone who really embodied this character and someone who had the weight and experience.
Once he put his name into the hat, threw it into the ring, we were like, boom, this is it.
The concept for 24 was unlike anything on television. It was told entirely in real time.
I remember when we got to shoot it, we started talking about this real-time stuff, and it was just one sentence at the top of the film. It was, real-time what? And they had to explain that part to me.
The show followed a counter-terrorist government agency battling a crisis over the course of 24 hours. Keifer Sutherland was offered the starring role in 24, government agent.